on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you for Wednesday, February 15, 2023. 10 games on the NBA slate for us to dig into. But before we start, just a quick reminder or just, announcement, I guess. There will be no NBA from Friday, February 17th through Wednesday, February 22nd. The next set of games to be played in the NBA post All-Star break, post All-Star weekend is February 23rd. That's a Thursday. So we got to figure out what we want to do here in place of NBA. Do we want to talk college basketball? Do we want to Prize Pick college basketball? Do we want to talk like NBA? You want to talk about your favorite teams? I can do some videos on your favorite teams. We could talk about playoff outlook. We could talk about seeding. We could talk about MVP race, things like that. Drop me some ideas in the comments, and let's see what we can do for that week that we won't have any NBA. But we do have NBA tomorrow, and that's what we're here to talk about. Early look and research video. Let's dig into it. And I want to start with the Charlotte and San Antonio game. I have 3 Hornets that I like who are on the board. And then I have a couple Spurs that are not on the board, and I'll let you know what I like about those as well. So when those lines drop, we can attack them. So LaMelo Ball, I like LaMelo tomorrow, but not for the reasons you think. So I like LaMelo under his points, and I like LaMelo over his turnovers as well as over his threes. Weird combination, right? Turnovers are not yet on the board. But let me show you this real quick. Let me show you something. Let me tell you something. LaMelo has not hit his point prop consistently this season, or at least over the last 10 games. 3 out of his last 10. Now, when he hits, he soars over it. But look where he lands most nights. Now he needs 26 points. This is a bit inflated. I like the under. He can get us 25 points all he wants. He can get us 24 points all he wants. But 26 is a little high. I like his turnovers as well because he's handling the ball a lot and he's turning the ball over a lot. Averaging 4 turnovers in his last 10 games. He's hit this over 8 out of his last 10. I really like that. I really, really like that. And then 3-pointers. Line is good. Minus 130 to go over 3.5 threes made. He's giving you 4 over his last 10, giving you 4 over his last 5. Looks good. Looks good against a team that doesn't defend the 3-pointer at all. Give me that. So we like LaMelo in those 3 areas. Let's skip on over to Terry Rozier because I like Terry Rozier a lot in this game. I think his points are in play on the over. I think his 3-pointers are in play on the over. And I think his blocks and steals are in play on the over for Mr. Terry Rozier. 2.5 over. He's hit this 6 out of his last 10 games. Minus 130 odds here. Steals and blocks for Terry Rozier. Minus 125 odds to go over 1.5. He's done this in 6 out of his last 10 games. And then his point total, 22.5. Minus 125 odds to go over. He's hit this in 7 out of his last 10 games. And he's playing a team in San Antonio Spurs that do not defend anything. So, favorable matchup, positive game environment, all the things we like. So these are in play for me. And Gordon Hayward. Over points and Gordon Hayward over rebounds. Listen, I know his points don't look good. When you look at his game log, it doesn't scream play me. But he's playing the San Antonio Spurs. His points have been on the up and up over the last 2 games. His minutes have increased over his last 5 games. He's on the floor more. Look at these minutes from 25 to 26, 30, 35, 29, 36, and 34 minutes. 9, 10, 8, 18, and 12. 3-pointers attempted 4 and 5 over his last 2 games. We need to get him back to where he's taking 4 and 5. These 2 attempt games aren't cutting it. Free throw attempts, he's getting to the line. He's drawing contact. Very rarely in foul trouble, which means he's on the floor. He's not on the bench. So these things look good for Gordon Hayward. I like his points, and then I like his rebounds. Good line here, -130 to go over 4.5 rebounds. This is what San Antonio allows to opposing teams. So I like these. I like these lines for Gordon Hayward for sure. They are in play for me. So those are your 3 Hornets. On the Spurs side, like Keldon Johnson, this is a high scoring. This is going to be a high scoring game. 239.5 game total. Hornets favored by 7 at home. The Spurs will keep it close enough. They'll keep it close enough to where Keldon Johnson goes for 30 against a bad Hornets defense, against a very, uninspiring Hornets defense. Almost as bad as the San Antonio Spurs. Keldon Johnson, yes. 2 Spurs who are not on the board, Malachi Branham and Devontae Graham. I'm interested in their points, and I'm interested in their PRA perhaps. We'll see what those lines look like when they drop. I mean, Charlotte's defense is just, this lines up very well for a good game from those guys. So Devontae Graham, Malachi Branham, remember those names. We'll look into them when their props drop tomorrow. Boom. Moving into Chicago and Indiana. No DeMar DeRozan tomorrow. It was announced yesterday that he will be sitting this game out. I don't know if he's sitting out through the week. He might be, but no DeMar DeRozan. Zach LaVine is in play over quite a few things. Now I want to be very careful here when looking at his point total of 27.5. This does not look good. 3 out of his last 10 games, but without DeMar, 4 out of his last 9, 38, 25, 27, 24. Okay. Indiana plays at a very fast pace. 5th in the NBA. Chicago plays at the 16th. So pace up game for Zach LaVine. I like him in pace-up games. I like this environment for him. -125 to go over. I also like his rebounds and assists together. But I've noticed that in games where he scores a ton of points, he's just very score-centric. And so he's not pulling down a lot of those peripherals. So if you play his PRA, he's probably going to make up the majority of that PRA with points. So, look at these games. So, 40 and 40 versus Orlando and Brooklyn. So, how many points did he score versus those two teams? 38 against Brooklyn, 26 against Orlando. And then RA against 14 against Orlando, 2 against Brooklyn. 2. All his PRA came from points. This was more of a balanced game for LaVine. And that's the only thing that concerns me, if you wanted to play his points in one slip and then his rebounds and assists in another, I would rather just play his PRA in one slip. Because what he lacks in rebounds and assists, he's more than likely going to make up for it in shot volume with no DeMar DeRozan on the floor. So, give me that. Give me Vooch over rebounds as well. Vooch does not have the best rebound line. He's 110 to go over, which is low. And I can't figure it out because no DeMar DeRozan. So Vooch becomes a second option on this team. Bad defense in Indiana versus the center. Rebound rate is low. Pace is high. Defense versus the center is not good. Offense and defensive rebounds allowed high. It just is a good environment for Vucevic. Over rebounds, Zach LaVine over his PRA. And you can even go, like I said, Zach LaVine over his points. That's what I like from the Bulls side as of now. Tyrese Halliburton is also in play. Hallie over 20.5 points. It's a good line for him as well. Points, -125. versus a Chicago defense that's okay, right? Not terrible. But he's been, look at his production. It's been like going up, like a good stock. Up, down, up. So I like it. I like Halliburton as of now. That's the only pacer that I like from this game. 3 Bulls and a pacer. All right, moving on. Atlanta, New York. Trae Young, don't be fooled by past games or whatever hype. Trae Young does not have a good track record versus this New York Knicks team this season. He's gone under his point total in all 3 meetings versus New York. Or 2 out of his last 3 meetings versus New York. Look at this. He's gone under his assist in all 3 meetings versus New York this season. PRA, under all 3 games. So, nothing really stands out from Trae Young. Brunson on the other side, same thing. PRA, under all 3 games versus Atlanta. Assist, look better. 2 out of his last 3. 2 out of 3 games he's gone over. I like his assist today. Minus 135 to go over on Brunson. I like that. But points, under in all 3 games. I know it's not the same Brunson. I get it. But, I mean, I'm not saying you have to play the under on his points. Even because he's just been killing it. Look at this. Look at his production. But what I am saying is that there's a shot that this regresses to this. That 40 and 38 goes back down to 25 and 26 against the defense that's kind of figured it out against him this season. So I'm not really ready to pull the trigger on Brunson points. I do like his rebounds though. Or excuse me, I do like his assist. I do like Julius Randle points over 26 and a half. You can score on this defense for sure. In the paint for sure. So Randle over his points. Randle over his points. Brunson over assists. There he is. Brunson over assist. Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Clint Capella's not on the board. I don't believe he's questionable for tomorrow. But John Collins is. So if John Collins can't go, we're going to look for Onyeka Okongwu props. And we'll look at Clint Capella's points and rebound prop tomorrow as well. So that's what's standing out for me from the New York-Atlanta game. We're not going to go over all the games. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. But the Houston OKC game looks really good to me. I don't think they're on the board yet. It's just Jabari Smith. Just Jabari, Green, and Sengun. And only their free throws. What a weird prop to have up first. KJ Martin Jr. over 14.5 points, minus 120 odds. That stands out to me. The last time these two teams played, OKC put 150 points up, and it was in OKC. This game is in OKC as well. Point total on this game, 236. OKC favored by 10. The Rockets will keep it close enough, though. Don't worry about a blowout here. So, yeah. Jalen Green over 3-pointers. Jalen Green over points in this game. Jalen Green over 3-pointers in this game. Jabari Smith is getting strong odds over his threes. And then, man, as much as I love SGA, oh my God, he's just a little inconsistent with his points. I mean, 42 against Houston, then had 24 to the game before. At home, he is the same player. 4 out of his last 10. And on the road, 4 out of his last. He's exactly the same player. You just got to get him on a good night. He needs 33 points tonight. What's his PRA? Ooh, 44. The thing about SGAs, he's much like Zach LaVine, where like he can be very score centric, and so if he's scoring a lot of points, he's gonna come under his like rebounds and assists. He's still getting you a lot. Steals and blocks. Fantasy is probably a better option for Shea, because he'll get you enough rebounds and assists. He's gonna get you a ton of points, and then he's gonna get some steals and blocks for you, and he's gonna turn the ball over not that much. Four times the last 2 games. Yeah. So SGA is in play for sure. And I mean, as of now, I don't want to name every player from this game, but SGA fantasy points, possibly points at home. He's a different player. Well, I just said he wasn't. Not that much of a different player, but he did put up 42 against Houston the last home game they had. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. It's possible he can put up 40 plus, but man, I like his fantasy. We'll see what his fantasy score looks like when they drop it tomorrow. Jalen Green over his points. Jalen Green over his 3-pointers made. And then KJ Martin over his 14.5 points. I'm assuming that's what it'll be tomorrow. And then no LeBron. Well, I say no LeBron. I can't see LeBron playing tomorrow. I think his ankle or his foot or whatever is worse than people think. I don't see why he would suit up tomorrow when he has to play in the All-Star game. Or maybe he doesn't even play in the All-Star game. Currently questionable, but he hasn't played the last couple of games. It's possible he doesn't play tomorrow. And I think it's also possible that AD doesn't play tomorrow. So if those 2 guys sit out, you're looking at huge minutes for Rui and Russell. I think Russell becomes the focal point of that offense. It's going to be Russell and Dennis Schroeder tomorrow are going to be your main guys. Troy Brown and Jared Vanderbilt. Let's see if we get any Jared Vanderbilt lines tomorrow. That guy is a beast, and if he gets some playing time, a lot of playing time tomorrow, I think he could put up some good props, some good numbers for us tomorrow. Dallas and Denver is another target for us, but nothing's really standing out when I go to props.cash. Dallas and Denver, none of these lines scream out at me at all. At least they don't now. So I'm not gonna just like blindly play Luka because he's Luka. But I am interested in Kyrie, Luka, and Nikola Jokic from this game. Josh Green would know Tim Hardaway Jr. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be sitting this game out as well. Questionable. Tim Hardaway Jr. Aaron Gordon's questionable. Maybe some Michael Porter Jr. We'll see if Jamal Murray plays tomorrow. He's out currently, listed as out. A lot of question marks in this game, so I'm not going to dig into these at all. 3 games we didn't cover: Cleveland versus Philly, Utah versus Memphis, and Detroit versus Boston. So we'll be sure to cover those in the final look video tomorrow, where we'll have more props available to us. More lines will be available on different sites, and we can really dig into building out some 2-pick powers and some 5 and 6 man flexes. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. 20-minute video. This went a little longer than I wanted it to, but nonetheless, thank you so much for stopping by, checking this video out, talking some NBA props over on Prizepicks with me. Drop me a line below letting me know if there is a prop you have your eyes on. Who have you locked in? And if not anybody, then who are you waiting to lock in? Also, let me know what you think about these super early looks into tomorrow's slate. We don't have a lot of information available to us, but we can definitely target that Spurs-Charlotte game. That Chicago-Indiana game stands out to me as well. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about those potential plays. And as always, thank you so much for all the support and helping my little channel grow a little bit bigger every single day. And until the next video, our final look video, Chavez is out.